And don't even think of challenging me. Don't even think about it. I will crush every single one of you Europeans. People used to think that European arm wrestlers were good.
I can tell you this thing with certainty that most arm wrestlers do this one thing after they win their super match. They go to the YouTube channels and they watch the YouTubers' reactions and the fan comments about their victory. Not that it gives them some kind of validation, but they want to know what the general audience perception about their performance and about their talent level is. After beating Siplenkov, Devon did the same and he was not happy with some of the comments, particularly the one that said Devon did everything to avoid Dennis when he was in his prime. And he waited until Dennis got sick and then he beat him up when he was weak. There are two sides to this thing. So let's first discuss from Devon's side, and this will also discuss the points that Devon addressed in his most recent video. So Dennis was 10 kilos heavier than Devon on match day. So size shouldn't have been an issue. Dennis had bigger wrists, thicker palms, bigger forearms and bigger biceps. So how is that a small guy? Like, when was it logical to complain to a guy who is smaller about beating up a bigger guy that the bigger guy was not big enough? And not only that, Dennis is 7 years younger than Devon as well. So that age question is also out of the equation here. And also, as Devon said in the video, Dennis was getting mad at Devon because Devon tried to postpone that match to next year. They wanted that in November, and that's exactly when it happened. So clearly Dennis got enough time to prepare for this match, as he himself wanted that match earlier. And now let's talk about this match from Denis Siplenkov's perspective, and we'll discuss the exact same points. So yes, Dennis was bigger than Devon, but he's clearly smaller than his peak shape. So that's not how it works. You cannot say that Levan Saginashvili should get to 140 kilos and then he should beat up Devon because he's still 20 kilos heavier than him. That's not how it works. Not everyone can be equally strong at an equal amount of weight. And yes, Dennis is younger, but he had some health issues and he was making a comeback. So basically he had one super match in over 5 years, and that too was not against a super heavyweight. It was John Brzezinski. So clearly he had that ring rust that Devon himself was talking about. And maybe Dennis was worried about Devon postponing the match because he thought, as he himself said, that Devon was getting stronger at a rate faster than Dennis himself, and that thing may have bothered Dennis. And he did clearly say that he is going to be 85% of his peak shape for the Devon Larratt match. Now, Devon saying that he's better than ever, stronger than ever, more technical than ever is kind of neglecting the fact what Dennis said, or it's kind of trying to prove him wrong that he was the best when in fact he was saying that he was only 85%. So that's kind of confusing here. And I'll go back to the point where we were talking about their size. I have never seen a person in arm wrestling who got his arms and forearms smaller by a couple of inches and suddenly became the best that he has ever been. Can you give me one example like that? Maybe a really fat guy who got lean and got stronger, but I cannot even think of such examples. Forget about someone who was already lean and then he lost a couple of inches in his arms. You just simply cannot get stronger like that. Even Devon got his right arm bigger by almost an inch when he hit his recent old age peak. So that's a very clear sign, and I think Devon knows that too, and it's kind of degrading Devon's victory over Dennis, because let's be honest, it's not Devon's fault that Dennis got sick and he got weak. It shouldn't bother him at all. I'm not saying that Devon couldn't have beaten Prime Dennis. Maybe he could have. That would have been a closer match. But I think deep down he also knows that this was not the best Denis Siplenkov. But that's beyond his control and he has nothing to do with that. He did the best performance that he could have done and he won the match dominantly. So congrats to him and he should be appreciated for that. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.